flowers? Janet would know, she's a flower person.
I think they're kind of like really purple and
I don't think I've ever seen a blue one.
maybe
there
it
might-
was maybe it was dyed. You know they dye flowers?
No, this is just something I saw.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here, we're going to actually go with the lady launching her book first here today. Not launching, I'm sorry, it's been launched, signing. Lozanne Yamalki was born and raised in Baghdad and Western Iraq. She is of Kurdish descent, however, she recently found out her DNA comes from Armenia. Her second poetry book, Counting Waves, published by Silverboat, is dedicated to her maternal grandmother who was recently found out was an Armenian genocide survivor. She immigrated to Canada in 1995 and has volunteered, studied, worked, been married, and had children since then. Her first book, I'm No Hero, was published in October 2016. She is presently a freelance interpreter and works and volunteers helping refugees coming to Canada. And yes, she still writes poetry. Please welcome Lozanne Yamalki to read from her new book.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and I'm very, very honored that we're here. Thank you. My uncle is on his way. He's just figuring his way around. That's why hubby's outside waiting for him. So, thank you all. Before I start, I'd like to honor a poet in Saudi Arabia. His name is Ashraf Fayyad. This young poet is originally from Palestine. He's stateless, living in a lot of Palestinians there in the Arab world. They're stateless, they just live. So he's an activist, a poet. He's not an activist, he's a poet. From his poetry, he reflects what's happening to the world. As we speak, he's sitting in prison. He was sentenced to death for apostasy, for writing poems. And I'm going to read you two short poems, one after another. Before I start my poetry, I want you all to think about being a poet, being a writer, being an author. Don't ever take it for granted, because people out in this world are being tortured and disappeared and killed just for writing. And poetry, sometimes we write for to see what we think. Most times poetry just comes to us. Sometimes it wakes us up in the middle of the night and we have to write it and we have no control over it. So don't ever take for granted that we are poets. We love what we write. I have to speak louder. Don't ever take for granted being a poet. It's not easy. In a certain part of the world, you get persecuted for being a poet. Two of his small poems I'll read for you. It's translated from Arabic. Petroleum is harmless, except for the trace of poverty it leaves behind. On that day when the faces of those discover another oil well gone dark, when life is blown into your heart to extract more oil off your soul for public use. That is the promise of oil. A true promise. The end. His other poem